Yo, this is a motherfucker who needs no introduction. You are watching Breaking Records Radio.
Did you see that at that period of time there was a scene kind of local in Chicago that was developing? I know obviously kind of later on you end up getting artists like Kanye West and DeBrat that end up kind of coming from that space, but they seem to operate on a little bit of a different level than kind of the underground grassroots kind of DIY mentality that seems to operate most underground scenes. Did you feel like there was that kind of underground presence? Because I know Ohio, for example, since we mentioned Scribble Jam, you hear about cats like Blueprint and Illogic and this kind of underground movement that started popping up there. New York obviously has kind of a fundamental underground scene, but the people that generally get spoken of from Chicago end up being these really kind of large kind of names, and you don't really hear about this kind of underground grassroots community. Can you speak about that community?
Oh man, that's a very beautiful question that you asked. Very thoughtful and considerate. Yeah. Well, you know why places like Atlanta are really successful and different places in the South? It's because they felt like they had to fight for their respect. They felt like, I mean, there was this big groundswell of we can rap, you know what I mean? Outkast and T.I. and We Are Here and Killer Mike and Big Crit and David Banner and, you know, Mississippi, shout out. Chicago went through that same thing. Like, we're not getting our respect, you know what I'm saying? But because we are the Midwest, you know, you have people that like West Coast, people that like New York, you know, and although you mentioned Kanye and the Brat, on our underground scene, we had Twista, we had Common. I mean, Common would show up regularly and enter the battles while he had a record out. You know what I mean? And that was big shit for us because it was like, yo, dude could get beat by one of these guys. And at that time, getting beat in a battle, somebody could use that to pump their career up and really like throw dirt on yours, right? At that time. And so, you know, we had big people, and not for nothing, people like Juice and myself, even Lupe, you know, we traveled throughout the country. We were doing battles that KRS-One was judging. I mean, people looked and knew, and we had a place and a space to be in. The Rap Olympics, Wendy Day really helped out a lot from New York with, you know, getting Chicago rappers on. So, you know, the fact that we felt like at that time, we didn't have the respect we deserved, it made us go harder. And we had people to look up to that not only could compete in that circle, but also could compete in the industry and did compete in the industry. So, you know, it was really a beautiful time. I mean, if you didn't want to be involved with the gangs, you didn't want to be, you know, involved with, you know, there were a lot of artists that kind of got deals and pop because drug dealers pay for they shit, you know what I'm saying, and pay for them to get around and all the expense it takes. Well, if you didn't want to deal with that, shit, you could battle your way to the top and get respect and be known. I mean, Kanye and I met because I was on the battle rap scene.
Right now she on an elevator. I'm not trying to waste your time or give you all of mine. I just wanna vibe with your vibes. I don't wanna keep your heart, but I can tell you where to start. I just wanna vibe with your vibe, with your vibe. I don't need to know your name or the places that you've been. I just wanna vibe with your vibe, with your vibe. I don't need to hear about your mistakes or the times you ended at his place. Just wanna vibe with your vibe. Just vibe with your vibe with your vibe. Just vibe with your vibe with your vibe. Just vibe with your vibe with your vibe with your. I got some things in my past that I wouldn't care to reenact. Broke some hearts that I can't take back. I wasn't